Have you ever been about to make a genuinely good financial decision? Like actually a good one? And then your brain just talked you out of it? So you did not invest because the market looked sketchy. You did not start the side hustle because you felt, what if it fails? You did not leave the bad job because at least it is stable. That was not your weakness or your laziness. That was your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Welcome to Wealth Reframed, where we don't just teach you about money, we change how your brain sees it. Because when the thinking changes, the money takes care of itself. There is a glitch in your brain. And I do not mean that metaphorically. I mean, scientists literally put people in brain scanners, ran the tests, and found something wild. Losing $100 hurts you twice as much as gaining $100 feels good. Let that sink in for a second. Same amount of money, but completely different emotional impact. The pain of losing is twice as powerful as the joy of gaining. It is a documented psychological phenomenon that won a Nobel Prize. It is called loss aversion, and it is the reason you are making financial decisions that do not actually make sense. Even when you have all the information, even when you know exactly what you should do, your brain overrides it every single time. And today we are talking about why. So back in the 1970s, these two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, were trying to figure out how people actually make decisions. Not how they say they make decisions, but how they actually do. And what they kept finding was that people are not rational at all. They gave people this choice. Flip a coin. If it comes heads, you win $150, and if it comes tails, you lose $100. Mathematically, that is a good deal. Expected value is positive. But you know what most people said no. But why? Because the potential loss of $100 felt worse than the potential gain of $150 felt good. Kahneman literally won the Nobel Prize in economics for proving this. And he's a psychologist, not even an economist, which tells you everything about how much of finance is actually just psychology. So your brain is constantly playing defense, constantly trying to avoid the loss, even when playing offense would genuinely change your life. Here's the thing about loss aversion. Once you know it exists, you will see it everywhere. I am talking about the decision you made yesterday, the one last week, and the one you are probably going to make tomorrow. So let us get into it. 1. The holding trap. You bought crypto or a stock or literally anything and imagine it drops. So instead of cutting your losses and moving on, you hold, you hodl. You tell yourself it will bounce back. Meanwhile, it drops another 30%. That is not loyalty to the asset. That is loss aversion. Selling makes the loss real. As long as you hold, there is technically still a chance of getting back to zero. So your brain refuses to sell. It is called the disposition effect. Research shows investors hold losing positions 50% longer than winning ones on average. Not because it is smart, because selling feels like losing. And losing hurts twice as much as winning feels good. 2. The saving account lie. Now be honest, how many of you have a chunk of money sitting in a savings account earning basically nothing? You know you should probably invest it, but the market might go down, so you keep it where it is safe. Here's the plot twist. Inflation is running at 4 to 6%. Your savings account is paying 0.5%. You are losing money every single year by doing nothing, but it does not feel like a loss, because the number in your account is not going down. This is called loss aversion. The invisible loss of inflation feels less painful than the visible risk of investing. So your brain chooses the certain slow loss over the uncertain potential gain, every time. 3. The fake sale. Picture this. It is late at night, you are in bed, phone in hand, not looking for anything, just scrolling. And then a notification pops up. Flash sale, 40% off, today only. And something just switches in your brain. Next thing you know, you are in the app, adding things to cart, checking out, and by the time you put your phone down, you just spent $200 on stuff you did not even know you wanted an hour ago. We have all been there, but here is what actually happened in that moment. That was not you being weak or impulsive. That was a room full of engineers and psychologists who spent years figuring out exactly how to make you feel like you were about to lose something. Because the moment you feel like you might miss out, your brain stops thinking and starts reacting. That 40% off is not exciting you. It is scaring you. It is telling you that if you do not act right now, you lose the deal, the price goes back up, and someone else gets it. and your brain cannot handle that, so it buys first and thinks later. Every countdown timer you have ever seen, every only 3 left in stock, every someone else is viewing this item right now. None of that is accidental. All of it is designed to do one thing: get you to spend before your brain has a chance to ask whether you actually need it. 4. The sunk cost trap. Let me ask you something. Are you still paying for a subscription you have not used in months? Still in a degree you knew 2 semesters ago was not right for you? Still at a job that drains you every single Sunday night? Be honest. And if the answer is yes, I am not judging you. Because the reason you are still there has nothing to do with logic. It is because leaving feels like admitting that all that time, all that money, all that effort was wasted. And that feeling is unbearable. So you stay. Just because you have already put too much in to walk away now. But here is the thing nobody tells you. That money is already gone. Staying does not get any of it back. It just costs you more. So the real question is not what have I already lost. The real question is how much more am I willing to lose just to avoid admitting it? Because the problem with loss aversion is that knowing about it does not automatically fix it. Your brain does not care that you watched a video. It will still do the same thing tomorrow. So knowing this is not enough. What actually changes things is making it harder for your brain to sabotage you in the first place. And there are 3 ways to do that. So do not close this video and say you will start next week. Do at least one of these tonight. First rewire, name it before it wins. Next time something in you hesitates before a financial decision, stop. Ask yourself one honest question. Is this actually a bad idea? Or am I just scared of losing? Research shows that naming an emotion literally reduces its intensity in the brain. When you say the words, "this is loss aversion," the fear signal weakens. You do not need to remove the feeling, you just need to recognize it for what it is. Second rewire, call it the price, not the loss. The market drops 15%, or your investment is down for the month. Your immediate reaction is to sell or to never invest again. But before you do that, try this reframe. Stop calling it a loss. Start calling it the price of growth. Because every investment that grows significantly goes through drops. The volatility is not a warning signal, but that is just the price of growth. When you shift from thinking this is a loss to this is the price of growth, everything changes. It goes from something happening to you to something you are paying for a reason. And that is a much easier thing to sit with. Third rewire, remove the decision entirely. This one is the simplest, and somehow the most powerful. Here is why. Loss aversion can only mess with you when you are actively making a decision. No decision, no loss aversion. So stop giving your brain the opportunity to talk you out of it. Set up an automatic transfer or investment right now. Pick the amount once, set the date once, and then just leave it alone. The money moves on its own every single month without you having to think about it. Your brain never even gets involved. We talked about this in video 1. The Vanguard study showed that automatic enrollment pushed savings participation from 40 to 90%. Same people, same money. Just no decision required. If you want the full breakdown on how this works, video 1 covers it in detail. The link is in the description. So here's the thing about loss aversion. You are not broken for having it. Everyone has it. The difference between people who build wealth and people who do not is not that one group is fearless. It is that one group has learned to see the fear coming and make the decision anyway. Do these 3 things tonight. 1. Next time you hesitate, ask yourself, is this logic or is this fear of losing? 2. Pick one thing you are holding on to only because leaving feels like losing. Write down what staying is actually costing you. 3. Set up one automatic transfer tonight. Remove the decision before your brain talks you out of it. The goal is not to stop feeling the fear. The goal is to stop letting it make all your decisions for you. If this channel is rewiring how you think about money, subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop in the comments which of the 4 examples hit the hardest for you. Next week on Wealth Reframed, we are going deep on cognitive bias, specifically the ones that are quietly running your financial decisions right now without you knowing. You just learned one of them. Next week, we go deeper. Subscribe so you do not miss it when it drops next week.